Offsides again. I'm Tom Hughes.
I'm Kevin Shaughnessy.
And now we got the AFC North preview. Last year, you had Cincinnati Bengals winning the division at 10-6. This year, I'm predicting around the same. 9-7 I'm going to have them around.
I got him about third in the division with 7-9. I really don't like the cut of Antonio Bryant. I thought he was going to be a big playmaker in that offense, even with T.O. and shout out Josinko and Jermaine Gresham. I really thought they were going to be good three combat receivers. But the reason I think they're going to go 7-9 is Cedric Benson. I liked him in Chicago. I liked him as a draft pick. He was a bust, obviously. He had a great year last year, but I don't think he's going to be able to repeat that year. Carson Palmer's injury-prone.
Listen, don't put any of your predictions towards Antonio Bryant getting cut, okay?
It's Antonio Benson getting. I don't think he's going to.
What's wrong with Benson? He's about 27 years old.
I don't think
he has no work on his tires. He's been playing. How much did he play in Chicago? He was a backup to Thomas Jones. The 1 year he actually got to play, he didn't even get many carries. He wasn't productive. He came to Cincinnati. That's
not 100-some carries. Yeah.
He came to Cincinnati. He had a great year. He's not going to be the kind of back like a Chris Johnson, Adrian Peterson, where he's going to run by everybody.
Consistent every year, 1,000-yard, 7 touchdowns.
He's a good enough back to do that. If he gets the touches to do it, their O-line is pretty decent. The weapons outside. Ocho Cinco, he's not an elite receiver as he'll like to say he is. He's a good receiver.
Ask Reeves how elite he is.
T.O., he's a good receiver. Caldwell, and then you got Shipley from Texas. They're going to be decent slot guys. Gresham was a great pickup.
Yes, definitely.
The one thing that I don't like about Cincy, last year this show, the defense became the #1 part of the team. Defense and running game.
Yes.
They're supposed to have a #1 pick, all-world quarterback.
Yeah.
Palmer was not showing that.
Yes, definitely.
You could see there were some games where he was just completely ineffective. Against the Jets, he couldn't do anything.
Oh,
other games against Cleveland, for God's sakes, it came down to the last second. Yeah, exactly. So their defense is what's going to carry them this year, and you're going to get. They're going to be an average offense. The defense is going to be good. They have the best corner duo in the NFL. Joseph and Hall are two studs. You add Pac-Man to that. If he can stay out of trouble, keep his head good, he's going to be a great nickel corner for them. You got Rivers, Malaluga. Antoine Odom was leading the NFL in sacks until he got hurt last year. It's a good team.
I like the other guy that they drafted last year, Michael Johnson. He had a bad year.
Yeah.
They moved him to outside linebacker.
A lot of potential. A lot of potential in that.
They got that other Hawaiian dude down there.
With the long hair,
yes. I forgot his name.
Pecco.
Pecco. Oh my God. He's an ugly man.
I think the team that beat in this division, even though Cincinnati won it last year, is the Baltimore Ravens.
Definitely.
Listen, you have one of the best young quarterbacks in the game, Joe Flacco. He has never had a legit #1 receiver. They added one of the toughest receiver.
Come on.
They added one of the toughest receivers in the NFL. Yards after the catch, he's perfect at. He can do it all. And then Ray Rice is coming into his own this year.
I think he's going to win the Offensive Player of the Year award.
I don't blame you for that.
Maybe
Ray Rice is an 80 catch. He had about 70 to 80 catches last year.
600.
Ray Rice ran the ball great. He got his goal line carries taken away, but this isn't fantasy football. This is real life. I would think they're O-line or stud left tackle.
I think McGay's going to have a bounce back year.
McKay, he could, because their O-line is that good. I think they could challenge the Jets as the best offensive line in football.
Definitely.
Grubbs, Burke, a guy who I know Minnesota is missing. Or, as I said, Jared Gaither, if he can stay healthy and play at right tackle.
Who's the other guard?
The other guard? I'm not even sure, but I know that they got a good
Ben Grubbs. Said that, didn't
Yep. Defense, best front seven in football, possibly. They could fight with the Vikings for that.
And the Jets.
Mount Cody, one of the best additions they could have had. Nada is a stud. Mount Cody, Terrence Cody from Alabama. You got Ray Lewis. He's not washed up. He can still play. Terrell Suggs, one of the best outside linebackers in the league.
Best pass rusher.
The secondary's weak. I'll give them the secondary's weak. They lost Foxworth. They lost Foxworth for the year. Ed Reed is on physically unable to perform. He'll be back for the playoff run. That's what's going to matter to them. And their front seven will get after quarterbacks.
I think Zibikowski is going to have a big year for them, taking the replacement of Ed Reed. I think Dwan Landry needs to have a bounce back year for this defense to be top 5. It really hurts them when Rex Ryan went to the Jets because he had them in top 5 every year except the year, I think it was 05 or 06 when Ray Lewis and Ed Reed both got hurt. But they were still top 10. Their defense is amazing. They lost Samari Roll and Chris McAllister a couple years back. That really hurt them. They really never had a shutdown corner. They still have Ed Reed shutting down one side of the field. The next team in this division is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I have them going 6 and taking a wild card spot. The reason being that is because Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to be out for, what is it, 4 to 6 games.
Most likely 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. And I've been seeing the kid from Oregon.
Dennis Dixon.
They're
probably going to start Leftwich.
There's going to be Leftwich is a statue out there. They don't have a great O-line. They don't have a #1 running back, even though Mendenhall had a pretty good year last year, coming off the injury from his rookie year. He had a pretty good year last year. They lost Willie Parker. I still think their defense is going to be that top 5 again because they brought back Larry Foote, one of their captains from 2 years ago. He went to the Lions, came back. He had a 99 tackle season with the Lions. Troy Polamalu, if he could stay healthy.
That's the X factor.
That's the X factor. Troy Polamalu could stay healthy. That team is in top 5 defense.
It's completely different when Polamalu was healthy. You
Definitely.
got Dick LeBeau, one of the best coordinators in the entire league.
Definitely.
What's going to kill him and why I'm going 8-8 is Roethlisberger's suspension.
Of course.
People don't realize.
Of their Super Bowl MVP.
And Santonio Holmes, another big loss. Wallace is a decent receiver. I think he's better off as a 3.
Yes, definitely.
But what's going to kill him? They play their opening games. They play teams like Atlanta,
Ravens.
If you lose them for 4 or 6 games, you're losing one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And the fact,
easily.
What you forget is that how bad his offensive line is.
And he takes hits every
He's
play.
one of the highest sacked quarterbacks in the league every single year. He is fighting.
Trashed.
He's running around, fighting off tacklers, everything. You're not getting that with Byron Leftwich. You're getting a guy with a long release who's a statue in that pocket, as he said. Mendenhall, I'm not a huge fan, especially with their offensive line.
I don't even know who their 2-back is. I haven't even heard that guy. What's his name?
Not looking good.
Not looking good at all.
Not looking good. But then you got Cleveland Browns. Mike Holmgren took the job. They kept Eric Mangini. Here's what I say with the Browns. Listen.
They're like the Buffalo Bills of the AFC North.
I think they're going to be better than people are going to give them. Last year they went 5-11. I think they can match 5-11 again.
I say 3-13. You want to know why? I'm a Jets fan, like I said. Mangini with the Jets. He was a horrible head coach. He doesn't know how to open his mouth. He sits there and he looks like he just takes it up the ass.
Mangini did have 2 seasons over 500.
That is true, but I think the addition of Lito Shepherd they got from the Eagles, that's a pretty big addition with Joe Hayden. That corner for now.
Vikings got Lito. They got Sheldon.
That's what I said. Their defensive back went from 28th in the league passer rating to about maybe top 15. Their safeties are still shot out. Eamon Elam on the Jets, he wasn't that good of an addition. They take a lot of the Jets like tier 3 players and try to make them tier 1 when they're not. I don't like the fact that Sean Rodgers has been decreasing ever since he's got there. Their defensive ends, who do they get from the Jets? Kenyon Coleman. Not really that good, and the other guy, Robari Smith.
Listen, their defense overachieved last year, and this year they got Joe Hayden and Sheldon Brown. It's going to be a better defense.
Definitely.
Okay, and listen, Jake Delhomme, as much as you want to say he's a turnover machine and everything, he has had a great preseason.
Listen,
he has had a great
I'm not disagreeing with you that you like Jake Delhomme. I like the back with Carolina.
I'm not a huge fan of him, but I think he's had a great preseason. He could be a game manager for them. He can do decent.
People that play
I'm not saying they're going to go 10-6 or something.
Okay.
They're going to go 5-11, but they're going to be a competitive team this season.
When he says competitive, he means he might win a couple games, 1, 2, or 3. That's what competitive is.
They're not going to be a 3-13 team. Holmgren's going to get them on the right track.
Holmgren's a retard.
Oh my God!
Look what he did with the Seahawks.
He's went to 2 Super Bowls with the Seahawks.
He lost both of them.
He won it with the Packers. He's been to 3. Anyway,
that's not a good ratio.
Listen,
that's not a good ratio.
We're going to do the AFC West next. Thank you for listening to our AFC North preview. I'm Tom Hughes.